Dirt Everyday Extras go live every weekday on Motor Trend On Demand. Here's an example of an episode you missed last week. This Dirt Everyday Extra, we're going to answer some viewer questions. This question comes from Scott Anderson. Question: looking to build first ever Jeep project. What model is easiest to work on with coil-over suspension? First of all, I'm a little confused by your question. Do you mean converting the vehicle to coil-over shocks, which is kind of like a performance shock where the shock body supports the coil? Or are you just looking for a coil-type suspension like what's on a Jeep Wrangler TJ? One of the easiest Jeeps to start with is probably a Jeep YJ. It's just a basic solid axles, leaf springs. But that doesn't answer your question because you're looking for something that uses coils. I do think the YJ is a great platform. It rides really well. The coil suspension rides even better. And so I can see why you might be going away from the YJ. The TJs, however, are a bit more expensive. You can find them, they're out there everywhere, but the YJs are usually less expensive than this. Now there's another model that I will mention because I know that a lot of you love this model, and that is the Jeep XJ. It's the Cherokee, and that has leaf springs in the rear and coil springs up front. Those are great vehicles. They're not my favorite. I've kind of dogged on them in the past, but they are a great vehicle. I've had one. One of the things about them is if you go to really big tires, it starts causing problems. The suspension, like the body has no frame. It's all unibody, and you go to big tires, you're gonna have bigger axles, you're gonna start flexing the body, and then you're gonna run into problems. If you're building a Jeep around, say, 33s, maybe 35s, I think an XJ is great. You can kind of leave them alone and put a little lift on them and keep them pretty stock height, and you'll run down the road. You'll have a great time with it. It's a great first beginner's Jeep because they're out there and they're dirt cheap. Actually, I've seen the prices starting to climb up, but they're still readily available. There's tons of them that people just bought to haul their kids around in or drive to work, and they've never really been four-wheeled. They come with a straight six engine, manual or automatic transmission, so they're a good starter Jeep. The TJ is the one that I would look for if you can find it. Even better, the LJ, which is basically the TJ Wrangler Unlimited. It's a little bit longer wheelbase. The things ride great, but those are still demanding a huge price tag because they were only made for 2 or 3 years at the end of 2004 to 2006. So if you can find an LJ or TJ Wrangler Unlimited, that's what I would jump on, but they're getting hard to find for anything under $10,000. The TJs, I've seen them around $5,000 up to $10,000 depending on their condition, and YJs are even cheaper than that. The JK, which has just been eclipsed by the new JL, is also a great platform. Super beefy frame. The engines, the 3.8 engine is kind of a turd, but the 3.6 is not a bad engine. Manual or automatic, 2-door or 4-door. Tons and tons and tons and tons and tons of aftermarket support for them. So depending on what your budget is, a JK may be the one you want to check out. I would recommend a JK 2012 and newer, because in 2012 they redesigned the interior and it comes with the newer 3.6 liter Pentastar engine, which is a lot better than that earlier 3.8. The brand new JLs are pretty cool, but they've only been out for about a month and there's not a lot of aftermarket support for them yet. There will be, I'm sure. The aftermarket will be ramping up to offer upgrades from everything from lift kits to tires and wheels and all yada yada yada, all that stuff. So I guess answering your question, what is the best one to start with? I'm gonna lean towards the TJ. I think the TJ has a huge aftermarket support. Being able to take the top off is fun. The price point is right in the middle of the road. The 4-liter engine or the 2.5 liter are great starter engines. It's fun to have a Jeep with no top on and go four-wheeling out in the rain and snow or the sunshine if you live in a sunny place. So overall, Jeep Wrangler TJ would be my pick for you. Or the LJ if you can find one. They're cool. That's it for Dirt Everyday Extra. I hope I answered your question. If you need more Dirt Everyday Extra, go sign up right now.